Hey, and welcome to Key Speaks Podcast. I'm Nikisha Francis, your host, and I am back with another video. Today's episode is about therapy, and I know it hasn't been the most common subject amongst most people, but I'm finding out that it is more common and more necessary than ever. Therapy to me is when silence is broken, wounds are acknowledged, and healing becomes the bridge between your pain and your purpose. It's also you confronting that what tried to break you. You finding your voice and stepping into your purpose that God had for your life all along. So today I have the privilege of sitting with an actual therapist. I met her less than a year ago at a group therapy session, and y'all, it was phenomenal. Changed my whole perspective of therapy. But now, not only is she a therapist, but she's a doctor in clinical psychology. She's the president of the Association of Black Psychology in South Florida.
Yes.
And she have her own live talk show. Y'all give it up for my guest, my newfound sister, Dr. Tasha.
Ooh, thank you for having me. This is such a nice spot. Okay, so Drive-By Therapy is the name of my brand. And so the best thing about Drive-By Therapy is I get to the core of your issues quickly, which I think is what you enjoyed that day when we were all in the circle. And it was what, about 12 of us, 12, 15 of us?
Well, I met you twice. The first time it was about maybe 30 or maybe less than 30.
That was here, and then it was somewhere else.
It was somewhere else, and then
it was here. Mm-hmm. Okay, and you remember that it was like I bring up a topic, and then wherever we go is where it goes. Yeah. Meaning I can't have an agenda.
Right.
Sometimes when you are in a healing profession, which is what I love about my job, is that you have to make sure that you don't come in with how it's supposed to be, which is why it even worked, which is crazy, right? Mm-hmm. I remember working with you that moment, and we talked about you using your voice.
Oh, yeah.
So the fact that we even talking about on this podcast is that you're already walking your purpose. So well done, sister.
Thank you. Yeah. The podcast is actually called Key Speaks. I'm finally coming from being silent to now speaking.
Which is interesting. How did you get to that transition? Because that was what I remember picking up on that day is I said, and do you use your voice? Because I can tell you have a gift.
Right. So it's a long story.
Okay.
But it started, I experienced some things in my childhood that I believe caused me to be silent. Things that I've experienced that I couldn't really interpret or communicate with no one. I realized that at a very young age, I was different, meaning I saw things that, spiritually.
Yeah.
I'm a seer. Now that I know, I didn't know then, but I know now.
And it becomes scary, you become anxious about the things. You can't share it with nobody. You don't want anybody to think you're silly or weird.
Right. I realized that everybody didn't see what I saw. And I just had a very different childhood. So that was one thing, experiencing, the spiritual gifts or whatever, and not having the language or understanding of it. And then I went through some molestation. And, I don't know if you know, but a lot of people that go through molestation and things like that, it's just something that comes over you where you're not able to really voice what's going on, what's happening.
No, it's a really big thing talking about sexual abuse in any capacity, right? You become violated, and because nobody ever put it to words to you about what you were feeling, you then are making this up as you go. The relationship you have with yourself changes immediately at age 6, age 12. Mm-hmm. The relationship you have with your body changes. Mm-hmm. It's like, man, this is literally how I learned about this. And so now you got to unlearn it, trying to be married, trying to have a relationship of love. You got to go back and unlearn and recondition your mind from what was snatched from you. And if you ever tried to tell someone, even if it was in 6th grade or middle school or high school, and if they dismissed you, that's a whole nother thing. Oh, yeah. Anybody ever out there, you ever had sexual abuse? Where literally it's either molestation, rape, even the thought of you can even secondarily be affected by sexual abuse. For instance, say pornography was on and you're only 6 or 7 and you don't, it's just in the room. You don't even know what to do. So even your eyes have now been abused.
Right.
That's called being secondarily traumatized. Y'all catching that? Sometimes we even forgot that part. It's not even always what someone did to you. It's the fact that you had to witness certain things. And that already can stifle your entire development for your entire life.
Yeah, it was tough.
Until you do some work, which it sounds like you did some work.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
So I went through all of that. I experienced, many things. I actually wrote a book about it.
Okay.
And, yeah.
Can we hear the name, or we can't hear the name yet? Is it a secret? Okay.
Well, it's actually 2 books.
Okay.
The first book is The Silence of a Child Speaks. And that's talking about all the trauma, not just the trauma, but the healing that came from it, and discovery of my identity and why, the spiritual aspect of why I went through what I went through, and how it made me who I am today. And then the second book is Marriage Saved My Life.
Marriage.
Ooh. Of course, through God, Christ, Jesus, but He used marriage to save me.
I love that. One day I hope to meet your husband and
oh yeah, you will.
See if he would say the same thing. Did it save his too? I love that. Marriage saved my life. That's like a whole nother conversation, right? Because a lot of people don't even think highly of marriage, which makes me so sad, right? Yeah. Because things do happen within marriage, but it doesn't have to taint that it actually is a very good thing.
Honestly, I didn't believe in marriage at all. Like, I had seen my mom. She was married for several years, actually 9 years.
Yeah.
And this particular guy she was married to, she got married to him while she was pregnant with me. I had never met my biological father, but I knew I had a biological father. And it didn't even matter up until the divorce. And she was with this guy for 9 years.
Did you call him dad?
I call him dad.
He was I could imagine if you were in the womb.
Yeah, that's who I knew to be my dad. I met my dad, my biological father, way later, like maybe 2-3 years after that divorce.
Do you remember what age you found out that the man who you call dad wasn't your real dad? Because I
think I kind of always knew, but I didn't really meet him and know anything concerning him until we moved back here. He actually stayed on the next street, and my mom had to call him up and let him know, like, look, you need to spend some time with your kids. You need to get to know your kids or whatever.
Now that's a whole nother conversation.
It's a lot, man.
Because the idea of an absent father or mother, right? An absent person that's supposed to be your primary caregiver, the way it can affect you, and you don't even realize that it can like affect you in a delayed way in life. So when you're 12 years old or 20, you're like, I'm fine. Because everything that you knew to be normal was normal. Until you're like, oh, let me learn how to love my man. Let me raise a son or raise my daughter, and then be at work. And now you realize, oh, wow, I didn't realize there were some things that I could have gotten from a present father that I never got. And for him to be down the street,
on the next street,
that's bananas. Because then you go into a place, if some go into it, because everybody doesn't have the same void. But when it comes to this type of neglect, that's the word we'll use, neglect or abandonment, can also affect you and wonder, like, was I not enough? Right? Was I not enough to come across the sidewalk, sir? Right? Was I not enough to like see about me, to get some groceries, come to my dance recital or my PTA meeting, whatever it was at school, just to be present, have ice cream together, even looking at me, which I have been talking to people about. For when as a kid, you really know you're loved when the way that you look at them and they look back at you. So the idea of being dad's, the apple of dad's eye, which hopefully you feel, it sounds like you feel from your husband, you know, when you can walk in the door and you can just see that he wants me there. That's sometimes what the daughter needs from her dad.
For sure.
Just to know that when I get to your house, you cannot wait to see me.
For sure.
Yeah. And without that, you are really you're really going through life, making it up as you go. Which it sounds like you've overcome some things.
Yeah, I overcame. It wasn't easy. And with the first guy, he was a father, or what I
would agree.
A father to be.
Because he didn't have to lean in. Yeah.
Right, until he wasn't.
And 9 years later.
Yeah, 9 years. Moved us here to Fort Lauderdale. And not long after that, pretty much said God told him somebody else was his wife.
Huh. That's a whole conversation. That gets you going right there.
Listen, when you
had the leg movie, y'all saw that?
Like, you like 9 years old and you being sat down, you know, like being informed that your parents are no longer going to be together, and it's just, that's the trauma in itself, like the emotions that come from that. Some people it don't bother, but me at the time, it broke me to the core. Like, I'm like, what is going on? Like, the foundation was disrupted.
What do you remember feeling, if you could go back to that? Well, you were 9 years old or
Yeah,
10.
I'm 9 years
You were
old,
9.
and I just had no understanding. I just was full of emotions. I remember just crying, begging them, like, no, like, hoping that it'd change their mind, but it was him. His mind was made up.
So what's interesting about that, even if I don't know how your parents responded at that time specifically, but it sounds like they forgot that while they were going through their chaos, that your feelings actually mattered. But I don't know if they stopped to see about you.
I don't think they mattered. Not for him.
Yeah, that's how deep it is.
Yeah.
So then you're feeling dismissed by a man, the first man that loved you. And that I'm sure seeped in life later.
Yeah.
Just the idea that like, I'm not enough to stay.
Yeah.
And even with your mom, let's say that she was feeling now abandoned by him, I wonder how much she could even show up for you. See, that's the crazy thing about trauma, right? Your mom had her own feelings, but if she was, depending on how she responded to it, she might not have said, come and sit with me right at the bed or come and sit with me on the couch. And how are you doing? Even if she's up here crying or let's cry together. Do you remember those moments?
Yeah, my mom is super strong. She's like a superwoman.
What we call her strong? Because, you know, I got another word for strong. If
she basically, you know, she always had God. Like, she always had God in her life. Actually, the guy she was married to was a pastor.
Okay.
But she always had God. Like, she was always a praying woman. And for me, from my perspective, she just picked up the pieces and kept it moving. Like,
meaning you never saw her in her weakness.
Never really saw a weak moment.
So now let me tell you now, this is how I feel back then. Okay, so I love that you said that, because as a woman, you're like, okay, now I see when she is sad, but it just looks different.
Yeah.
Because everybody doesn't cry when they're sad, right? Everybody doesn't like fall apart and become devastated. Like they just, you know, eat their life away. Don't shower. Don't leave the house. Some people keep going and they're almost like a zombie. Some people are even angrier or snappier when they're sad. And then some shut down. But the thing that I was thinking about is we use the word strong all the time when someone doesn't break.
Oh, yeah.
And then if there's a daughter that sees her mom this way, if she ever becomes a woman that is breaking, you end up judging yourself like, what's wrong with me? I wish I could be strong like my mom. Right. Not realizing that mom also may not have shown you how to navigate through the sadness. Because she may have cried behind closed doors, but nobody knew that.
I'm sure.
Grandma cried behind closed doors. You hear me? Auntie cried. But when we do this whole like strength, I want to be strong. Like, I mean, I'm like, you could take this cake. If you're trying to put the black woman's cake that's so strong, you could take my cake. You hear me? Because if that means I got to be strong, I don't want no parts of it.
Oh, yeah.
Because to be strong is to not acknowledge your feelings. I'm good. Right?
For sure.
I'm good. If that's what strength looks like. I like to use the word vulnerably, or the phrase vulnerably strong, meaning that's the way I like to show up. Like we can talk about our trauma, but we're saying it in our strength, but we're still acknowledging that it wasn't easy.
It wasn't easy.
That to me is, this is what strength looks like. Complete courage to tell the world about your book. This is, am I not right? Did it not take a courage to be able to do this?
Oh, yeah.
To put it out there?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I went through what I went through from the age of 9 to about 16. And I'm about to be 40 in the next 2 months.
Ooh, 40 years old for a woman is a big deal. For us to love ourselves, like we might as well.
Took that long. But of course, growing in God, having a relationship with God, you coming out of a lot of things. I believe that's why it took that long. I'm not upset about how long it took. I'm just glad that I'm here.
Yeah. I mean, 33 is when Jesus was fully in his purpose. So if he could wait till his 30s, I think we can get it in our 40s.
Yeah.
I'm 45, and I think I knew that I felt stuff because, like you said, the gift was always there. But how to use it and navigate it that's a whole like conversation. That's a whole, somebody has to nurture it, or you have to like yield to it, which is very hard.
Oh yeah.
Because it doesn't make any sense. There's no book on it, on how to follow it, or the dreams that come. Do you call somebody when you saw them in your dream, or are you going to scare them if you tell them what you saw? Or the timing in which you share? I would say by my 30s, I was like, ooh, this is what it is. I'm no longer running from it. 20s, I was kind of like, I'm trying to kick it. Like, why we got to be so deep, God? Like, can I just be a 20-something-year-old and have a cocktail and a chicken wing? You know what I'm saying? And go to wherever I want to go and listen to music. But then sometimes it pulls on you because you don't even fit.
Oh, yeah.
Why you trying to fit? And then 30s, I was like, okay, now I'm going to stop running. But by 40s, I'm like fully just diving deep into where you need me to go next.
Oh, yeah. See, I'm just
because you're just gonna get here. But welcome. It's a great place to be. Because when it comes to this place, there's no more fear.
Yeah.
Because fear is what took us so daggone long to get here.
For sure.
Yeah. Because why would he not give us this gift? And then why would he leave us after the gift was given?
Listen, I was so scared, like around that age, 8 or 9, that I actually asked God to take the gift away from me.
Oh, I know.
And I believe he concealed it a little bit.
I believe it.
Because it used to be, you know, a lot. But
no, it's a lot. So you got a lot to do. I like to say you might never die because you got so much to do. It's a real, I say, maybe I'm going to live till 137. Like, I don't even know the number because there's so much to do.
Oh, yeah.
You already got 2 books. Okay, Silence of a Child, Marriage Saved My Life. You already got another one coming in here? Because
actually about 3.
That's what happens. A real
crazy.
author, once you start like putting the pen to paper, or some people the keys to the computer, once you start that, other books come.
Just go to open it up.
Yeah. And even if you just keep it on there and like, you know, publish it later, make sure you get it out of you.
Yeah, why is still, because I miss a lot of moments.
Yeah. Because we busy doing everything else, right?
I miss a lot of moments, a lot of windows that I feel like God was calling me to do something or whatever, and I hesitated. I, second guessed and all of that.
But it comes back around, as you see.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah, you can do nothing other than this podcast. He was going to make sure you was going to get this out. It was in 5 years, 10 years, 5 days, 10 days. Yeah, so it's a big deal that you yielded to the moment. And
it's all lining up. Like, it's kind of going, what is called conclusive.
It's happening.
What's the word?
It's cohesively together. It's coming together.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Running concurrently.
Oh, concurrently. That's a good word.
That's the word.
That's the word. So even the idea of, if I could tell you about confidence, is knowing that it will come versus it's not here yet. I'm just going to give that to you. That you can fully stand in your confidence of, like, even that, I'm going to use the word, right? Because, I like to work in real time. So in your mind, it could be like, oh my God, I can't believe this word. This is happening right now in real time.
Right.
And you're going to negatively talk to yourself. And then she could shut down. And now we can't record. Right? And that's called catastrophizing. That's a psychology word. You ready?
Yeah.
Catastrophizing, meaning that literally your brain goes into a place of anxiety. And it's kind of like the Tasmanian devil or the old school 1990s Sonic the Hedgehog. I remember that. So it literally it starts off slow of, I'm thinking of a word, and then what's wrong with me? I can't, and then it goes and this could all happen in like seconds. But then the beautiful thing, which I saw that you did, which is why I want to acknowledge it, you slowed your brain down and say, I know this. And then it came.
What's that word? Yeah.
But to stand in your confidence is that it doesn't have to be perfect, because people are going to like you because you're relatable. Because perfection is it even achievable? Is it a place that we can get to, perfection?
Not really.
Okay.
Not really.
But we all chasing it. We all chasing what? The impossible? You ain't going to get there. So why don't you just stand in your imperfection? Because it looks good on you, ma'am.
Thank you.
Okay. I need you to like take note to that. Like, when it doesn't all come together, it may be coming together.
Yeah. I realize that because being a perfectionist, like, it hinders you from, like, you'll never get it together.
Never, though.
So you got to start where you at. So
you literally will never get it together. There are people right now, movie directors, that got a movie that they sitting on because they got one more scene they can't think of. Years. Well, it's not done yet. Well, but start getting something out. No, it's deep. I like to call it being constipated with good stuff. I'm serious. I said it. I'm serious. I like to say stuff all the time. I like playing with that word. But the truth is, you can become constipated, meaning God is really downloading all these things and you have all these ideas and dreams. And you can literally be so uncomfortable with all this good stuff that you do nothing. Because what happens when those that are constipated, they just want to sit and wait till it passes. But if you're supposed to get it out it got to come out of you.
Yeah.
There's nothing I could do that God has given you. Just so you know, nothing. That's the coolest thing about, I think that's the coolest thing about God for me, is how specific he can make like his path to like one individual. I'm like, what? Like, that person was assigned to me and this person is assigned to you.
Right.
Whoever's watching right now, we could have 7 views. We could have 7 million views. You were assigned to keep watching. You're like, I don't know why I keep watching this lady. And then they finally get the gem that you finally dropped. And it's like, you're welcome, right? But you had to actually yield to this moment. You had to stop your Saturday. You had to call your husband. You had to make sure the kids had a babysitter. Like, all that had to happen for the one person that's watching to say, oh my gosh, she's talking to me while they're in their bedroom right now or in their living room.
True.
Don't stop. That's all I'm telling you. You can't stop. You got thousands or millions, whoever it is, that are assigned to you. What you thinking? I know you got questions. What you got? What you thinking?
I just realized that, you know, I didn't go through all I went through for no reason. And I'm now like seeing the purpose, like find it.
Yeah. To know your own value is it's like you're getting to know that part of you.
It's crazy how God allows you to go through certain things just to like just build your testimony, build you. And I'm just taking it all in.
No, it's a big deal. I'm proud of you. Even for having, it was 2 years ago you said? Oh, yeah.
2 years ago.
Or 1 year. It was 1 year ago that we met.
Not even a year. Almost a year.
Oh, almost a year.
June would be.
Look at all that you done did in less than a year. That's bananas. I love it.
So therapy.
Yes.
But give us a little bit more about therapy, what it is and why is it so necessary?
So what's interesting is a lot of people think that it's like we're just sitting here talking. But the interesting thing is that you're actually finally putting words and feelings to something that you may have suppressed.
Oh, yeah.
That means to push something down. And what we do sometimes is say we're fine, right? Everybody's fine. How are you doing? I'm fine. How are you doing? I'm fine. Everybody's fine. Please, you're not freaking fine. That's what, nobody is that fine, correct? So on my couch, I help you to not have to be fine in your hour. And that's the first way I think of having a therapeutic session with me. Now, once you're sitting down, you got to let go of the judgment to even share. This is what's crazy. So you sometimes just like, oh, I can't tell her that because then she's going to think I'm going to think, how you going to tell me what I'm going to think? So what I do, good clinicians who know what to do, good clinicians, you have to allow themselves to not feel judged in your presence, right? Which is what people call a safe space. We hear that all the time, right? So once the safe space is there and you're on the couch, but if you live in another country or state, maybe we're talking over Zoom, all that has to happen before you let your hair down. Now we're sitting down and we could start with, what's your relationship like with your sister? Oh, you know, I really don't really like her. Or maybe actually, no, it starts more like this. Oh, I don't really talk to her much. And then I'll say, well, do you even like her? Right? Because we have to act like we're all close to our families when once I say that, it's like, actually, I don't. So in like 1.5 minutes, we can finally get to the raw truth because I can only lean into the problem. Right? So when we start skating, I can't help you. But once we're like, actually, I don't really like her. And then I say, how long has it been? Right? How long has it been since you haven't liked her? Now you get to go into your psyche and remember how long it's been since you've been this distant from your sister. It could be your mother, your brother, your father, your coworker, whatever it is, that there's this distance. And now we can deal with, is this literally how you see people or is this just how you see women? And is this how you show up when you like somebody? Because nothing that you dealt with in your childhood it's going to always come up in your romantic relationships. Every last one of them.
Oh, yeah.
I get to help you unlock that. It's like the coolest job ever. I've been doing this since 2006. I think like when it happens, it's like, I'm like watching it happen. Like I know I'm talking, but sometimes I'm outside of myself watching like, I can't believe that just worked. I remember when a lady, she really struggled with feeling. Like she was kind of what you call strong or what you used to call strong. And so she did the game face, right? And so I said something like, when you're sad, do your eyes always do that? Right? Because she was doing the ugly face, the whole like I'm so hard. You so hard, you know? And so she had the eyes like this. And I said, because I could tell that, right? Because there's anger, that's called a secondary emotion. And then guess what's underneath anger? Every day, all day. Sadness. And so I said, do you always do your eyes like this? This is years ago. She had to be in her 60s. This is how, and you can only imagine this young doctor talking to her elder. Like I was trying to figure out, how do I break you from whatever you're doing? Because the truth is, I could tell it's superficial. I don't know what to do with that. I can't swim in the shallow end with you, lady. I'm really trying to figure out, let me bring her into the deep end. The minute that I said, she said, what do you mean? I said, I could tell every time you talk about something sad, your eyes do this. I said, did you know that about yourself? And she said, no, not really. And I was like, have you ever had anybody close enough to you that cared to tell you? Bam. Actually, I haven't had anybody close enough to me to tell me what my eyes do when I'm sad. I don't even know if anybody has cared that I've been sad. You get what you guys get how this works? Now we got the okay. Now, was I trying to break her? No, I just trying to actually get into a place I could help.
Right.
Because the hardened woman, I couldn't do anything with. Let me give you another one. There's another thing when it comes to like what happens in the couch. A lot of times, a husband and wife will come and I'll do like kind of a couple session, and I will like literally. Remember when you did like this when you was talking about like immediately. If this was a whole session, we was gonna talk about your legs, like, and I would say, "Well, what are your legs saying to me?"
I don't even know.
Hello? That's literally called Gestalt therapy. Now, I read about all this when I used to go to school in Berkeley, right? So I got all the degrees, right? I went to California and got the degree, and they told me all the words, right? And it's all lovely. But there's also my experience I can bring into what I do. And then there's the spirituality I can bring into what I do. But that literally is called Gestalt therapy, meaning whatever's happening in real time, you read, because that is also something. So there's the nonverbal that you can pay attention to. And then there's the verbal. And this could happen in relationships. So every time that you talking to your man and he rolls his eyes, hello? Or women, because y'all do this all the time, and I'm one of them. While your man's talking, you going into how many rooms talking about, I'm listening, you not.
I hear you, man. Keep going.
What? It's rude. Is it not rude, husband? It's rude. Because the truth is, how many times does he actually sit down and want to talk to you? Probably not as many, but why would he if every time he starts talking, sharing his feelings, you got to go to another room, do something for the kids, got to go to the kitchen. I could go on and on and on. Well, let me get up and finish well, dang, guess what that means is you actually, it's not important to you to stop your life for him, which is what I talked to you earlier about the 9-year-old. When you don't stop and see about somebody, it feels dismissive.
Oh, yeah.
And then slowly and surely, that person is going to shut down. And it's better for me not to share or even feel because you're not even that interested. Now, is that what you were thinking when you went to go get something out of the refrigerator while you were talking? No, you weren't actually thinking I'm being rude, but you did not stop and see about him because we don't even know about him dealt with in his childhood. And now you're reminding him of his mother who neglected him a long time ago. Or grandma that had how many kids running around the house? Hello?
Yeah.
Just from that moment of you not stopping and seeing about your man. God gave you that man. Sit down and shut up and listen. I said it, ladies. I don't mind telling women shut up because I had to say that to myself. And I'm not just saying women because I'm not just downing women. I'm saying if you know your person is finally talking, listen.
Oh, yeah.
Because if you do it too long, ignore them. They're going to shut down. And then 10 years later, we don't ever talk. Well, baby, back in 1999, he tried to talk to you. But by 2003, you had better things to do because you're so busy. I'm so tired of that word.
Yeah.
The B word, the busy word. Your life is that busy you can't see about me? Why you married?
For real.
Or why you a whole mother? Or why you a CEO? Or why you a pastor? I could go on and on. You that busy? You ain't got time to see about your people? You might want to reconnect within what was the reason why I started all of this. Recalibrate. Bring it down a little bit. Slow down. I'm sure you've learned about that with all of the things we do, the hustle and bustle. So that's a little, I get excited about anything that has to do with, putting anybody on the couch. So that is what it is. When people get scared of sharing, they literally are like, man, if I bring up the pain, I now have to feel the pain. Why would I talk to this lady about my pain? Who wants to go back in time and bring it back up? Baby, if you think it's gone, you lying to yourself. Yeah. I like to say I raise up dead situations every day. Every day. We out here having Easter and Resurrection Sunday on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Right? Because did it really die? No. It didn't. It didn't die. Just so you know. Now, it might have gone to the grave.
Yeah.
But it really didn't die. Or that's dead to me. Really? Because every time you talk about it, you're getting salty.
Oh, yeah.
Every time I can use myself. A trigger, ooh. My husband's over there. He know which one I'm going to say. I got one emotional trigger that takes me to 1,020. My mother could say one word and it should. Well, shouldn't you? Wait a minute, lady. Why you got so many shoulds for my life? You get what I'm saying? I'm 45 and I still got to hear. And I heard the shoulds when I was 2. I heard the shoulds when I was 12. I heard the shoulds when I was 42. I can't do it. It takes me to 1,000. Because guess what it tells me? Now, if you're a mother that does it, check yourself. If you're a father that does it, check yourself. It's a real thing. I'm telling you what your daughter's thinking. Do you hear me? I'm telling you what your son is thinking. It means that whatever you're doing is never good enough. Now, luckily, my self-esteem is okay because I ain't looking for validation. But imagine if I didn't have it. Your shit is going to literally mess me up every time. Oh, my hair. Oh, I should have worked. Should I have worn a jacket? Oh, well, my mom said. Well, my daddy said. This happens every day. And so when people live in their shoulds, then they are more depressed than you think. Because they have yet to fully show up in their life.
Right.
And when I see that, I'm like, ooh, I see what's happening here. You still living somebody else's dream. Yeah. We could do all that on the couch.
Somebody else.
Okay, we 30 minutes into the session. We ain't even halfway. We halfway there. Imagine all the things that can unlock when you just stop and see about you. And the things that you have suppressed that are not dead. They're not dead. Did I say that? Did y'all hear that part? We could put that in the subtitle right at the bottom, sir.
Not dead.
It's not dead. We got to raise up some situation. It's still alive because it keeps triggering you, but you don't even know it.
And affecting your whole
being.
Your decisions.
Okay, see what I mean? Mm-hmm. Now you stuck. It's hella people just stuck.
Oh, yeah.
From something that they didn't unlock.
Mm-hmm. Something they didn't deal with.
And they don't even know it because what they keep saying, they're fine.
I'm good. No, I'm
yes.
Good. Yeah.
Yeah. And you don't even know what's going to happen. That's the coolest thing about it. You don't even know what's going to happen. Just humble yourself, open yourself up. If you ever decide, I know what my website is. You can talk to me or you can talk to somebody. Talk to somebody. You can go to drivebytherapy.org and see about, you go through the contact, say, you know what, lady, you're a little different.
Oh, yeah.
You know, it's something about you that make me want to lean in and come and see about you. I don't care if you're in Seattle, you could be in Senegal. We're going to figure out your time zone and mine, right? And then we're going to talk about whatever it is that resonated with you, because that's the it. If we don't yield to the seasons of life, then you will miss it.
Oh, yeah.
But if you're feeling something, go with it and say, I don't know how to do this. And I've never told anybody, that's my favorite on the couch, when they say, I never said this before. Yeah. I'm just like this. I'm take my time because I'm not here to re-traumatize you. I'm here to talk about what you're ready to unlock.
Yeah. Speaking
of, I'm ready.
I don't know if you may have the answer to this, but I don't know. But when it comes to molestation,
yes,
right? So many women, I know statistics show from years ago that 1 out of every 3 women experience it.
It's true. And 1 out of 4 men. We don't talk about that part.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't know that.
I know. It's a lot more than we know because men don't talk about it. But keep going.
But it's like, what is that? I'm a church girl, so my language would be, what is that spirit or what is that causes you to be silent? I mean, we're writing a book. I know that, a lot of things you can't share because of the fear, like you mentioned earlier.
Yeah.
But it's like so many people go through the same exact thing, and it's like the same hindrance. Like you can't speak, or it's so many reasons why you don't. But knowing that that's a thing, so when one person go through or experience something that so many people have experienced, why not just come out and, you know what I'm saying?
Like, meaning it makes sense in hindsight, looking back, like, why didn't I yell? Why didn't I say anything? We've all heard of the you can like fight, flight, or freeze. We heard this, right? Mm-hmm. So this is just meaning that when your nervous system, let me give you a little psychology with a little biology. Okay. The school would be proud. Okay. So when you fight, flight, or freeze, it means this is your response to trauma. And I'm going to say there's no right way to do it. Right. So if you immediately, somebody threatens you and you're like, clock them. That's your immediate response to, I feel threatened. You have to get in their face. Some people freeze like, I can't believe they're doing this to me.
Oh, yeah. But see, you know what's
And then
crazy
there's
about
flight,
that?
as in what?
Go ahead.
You trying to go out the door. Because you actually, this right here is too much for me. Go ahead, tell me what you're about to say.
It's crazy because in those moments, I will freeze. But in other moments, it's like I'm a whole different person. Like,
but look what happened. What age were you?
It started at 8, 9.
Age 8. And you don't have to say the person. I don't know what the book, how specific the book got to. Was it someone that was supposed to be trusted in your life?
For sure.
Right? So this isn't the scary man in the alley. This is someone that was allowed to come around the family. So imagine that I'm knowing that you're safe for me. So I'm like, let me lean into, she all right, right? So I'm just, everything about you when you get a new friend in school. And so I have literally allowed you in my safe space.
Yeah.
You might even have pajamas running around as a kid at 8 years old, right? You might just fully letting your hair down. You're not thinking this man is scary or this woman is scary, because plenty of people get molested by the same sex. This is all happening. So the fact that the moment of it becomes abrupt when the moment is at one point appropriate and then it switches.
Right.
You freeze when it doesn't make sense.
Right.
So now it's like, wait a minute. I'm gonna use my own hand. Right? Let's just say that this is the body, right? And we going up and just the fact that like they may say, you want to take off your shoes? Oh, actually, I do want to take off my shoes, sir. I love taking off my shoes at your house, right? So we got shoes off. Oh, okay. And I see you got your pants on. You want to take off your pants because, you know, I know it's hot in here because it's Florida. You want to put on some shorts? Actually, thank you. Shorts would be better, right? Because I trust you. My mama said I could stay here overnight, or I know mom's at work and you're here and she trusts you. So like everything you're asking, I'm not thinking of your daggone agenda, sir. I'm actually thinking that I trust you from the 8-year-old's point of view.
Yeah.
So of course you're going to put on your shorts with my example. And then it's, you want to sit next to me closer on the couch? Yeah. Oh, actually, dad or pseudo dad or uncle or babysitter. I actually do, because my cousin's cool. Why would I not sit close and watch popcorn? Now we close. Now, you sure you don't want to sit on my lap?
Yeah.
I think about so many girls. We'll start with girls and boys, but the girls that I have talked to that literally when they think of, or the women that I've talked to that talked about when they were girls, that their grandfather would put them on their lap. Now I'm going to put this down for a second. Now y'all already know where I'm going with this because y'all grown. But does the little 6-year-old think anything? Should the 6-year-old be able to be on her grandpa's lap? Yes. Yes or no? She should be able to be on her grandpa's lap.
Should.
If it's there's no incest. Should. Right. This should. As in, it should be appropriate. I trust grandpa. And so of course you're on his lap. Now you didn't realize when grandpa was doing this was actually fun. But what you didn't know is when your booty comes moved this way, that he's actually filling you up and turning himself on while he's playing with you on the couch.
Right.
And now when you look back, wasn't nobody else there. And so when did it go from Legos to your long thing?
Quick,
what just happened? Because you were just, it was fun. You might have got me a Kit Kat. You might have even gave me $1. So of course I'm going to lean into you, sir, babysitter, ma'am. Because my mom trusts you, my dad trusts you, my uncle trusts you, my cousins know you. All these things are happening.
Yeah.
So when you judge yourself of why didn't I, is you probably had to catch up to, this isn't really what I thought was going to happen on the couch or in my bedroom when they were coming to tuck me in. Because the tuck in somehow went all the way around.
Yeah.
What happened to the blanket just? So now your private's got, I always say it could be on top of the clothes or the bottom of the clothes or under the clothes, and it's still molestation. If it was a rub or a slight something where you're like, if you got all tingly inside and not in an arousal way, but in a like, this isn't right, then it was molestation. There are so many people that don't even want to own it.
Right.
Because it wasn't full on rape. But you know, at 8 years old,
boundaries
when something, that boundaries are crossed. And now you don't know what to do.
Yeah.
Because who taught you how to talk to somebody when you get molested? Did anybody talk about that from 1 to 7? Okay. So when we judge ourselves of what happened, why didn't I say anything? Maybe because you were 8 and you didn't plan on getting felt up by someone that was not 8. Because there is experimenting, and I like to say there's an experimenting where I show you mine, I show you yours. I don't actually think that's always molestation. Some people take it there because there's sometimes cousins do that, and we got a little bitty, I call them a little mosquito bites. We ain't got no real breasts, but we all think, y'all know what I'm talking about, right? We ain't in the closet sucking on each other's nipples, but there's sometimes you want to see each other's. That's not full on molestation. It's when the 15-year-old wants to see about your little nipples.
Oh yeah,
because the 15-year-old already has up here what they want to do to them. But when it's 2 5-year-olds, sometimes it's just, I didn't know that's what you're, okay. So we got to make sure we always separate it and it makes sense. Right. But that feeling, we can tell when it's not just, I'm showing you mine, you're showing me yours as a cousin and we cool. And it's consensual. There's the moment that it goes against consent.
Oh yeah.
And so that little girl says nothing or that little boy says nothing because they have to catch up to what just happened. Think about a car accident. What do we do immediately after a car accident?
Like
freeze.
Yeah.
I know that didn't just happen. You at the light and somebody hit you from the back. You ain't even what you just. I'm just turning left at the turn signal and here comes a car. You on the motorcycle. I mean, it could be anything, right? And then there is a moment as we're still alive. We go into a freeze. Now, some folks that are scared might go into flight. I gotta go because I ain't paid my warrants. My license ain't even suspended. Yeah. That's flight. Mm-hmm. Some people want the fight because it's like, how you gonna mess up my car? I just got it. You get the 3? Mm-hmm. So the idea of molestation, which I don't want to make it analogous to a car accident because it's different of what it does to your mind, but something happens. Yeah. You get it? And even the moment you're like, it's just happened. Let me recalibrate what to do because it happened. You didn't have anything to access at 8. And then you have to now sit with that this just happened and don't let it be with somebody I got to see tomorrow. And don't let it be with somebody that might have said, this is just between you and me. Or, this is just how we play. Or, if you tell your mama, I won't pay the rent no more. Hello?
Yeah.
So now you think, which is a true story, you now don't share because if I share, we going to be homeless. Oh yeah, that joker right there. He was very strategic in how he made sure he did what? Groom you. Because at first it was $1 and now it's $10 and now you 15. Yes, this happens. So sometimes it starts at 8 and it goes all the way to 18, but nobody talks about it. Mm-hmm. Because at some point, even molestation can feel good. Hello? Is the mic on? Is it still on? Is the mic still on?
Loud and clear.
So it's a real thing and it doesn't make sense because the body at some point, right after puberty, the boys after 12 and for us maybe after 11 or 12. And so the body now gets aroused, maybe meaning we become more juicy and the boys become a little more erect, right? And then they learn their bodies, right? Let's just talk about anatomy. Right. So the fact that you can do something to me, I'm going to be a boy for a second and now I'll be like 13. And the teacher is showing some attention to me. And my little thing is all, I get kind of excited about Miss Wilson, right? And I don't really know what to do with it. And she might just brush up because she know what she doing.
Exactly.
Baby, now you might go to your boys and be like, you won't believe what Miss Wilson did to me. And now you the boy, right? In your playground, you the man. But the truth is you just got molested, sir. And now you are 40 years old and you are a whole player because of the way that you learned about your body from Miss Wilson. So not only does one woman not satisfy you, 2 don't either. So you got a new one on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, because you need external validation, but even through your body, because who objectified you? Miss Wilson, meaning you now are the man through your penis. Yeah. So now you're an adult man. Y'all catching this? This is how deep it goes. And let's say they didn't even sleep together, but she showed him attention through his what? Wrong head. Why don't you think I'm smart up here, Miss Wilson? But we down here, and so now I'm gonna use this because this gets me all the giggles. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Same thing can happen with girls. Maybe you learn a little 1, 2, a little twerk, because uncle liked it, and you ended up liking it, even though you knew it was wrong, and you knew that nobody knew about it. Mm-hmm. You're now judging it, but it's y'all's little secret. Because ain't that what he said when we were 8? Mm-hmm. And now you're a little messed up with how you see your body and even how you see an orgasm. Because now it comes from someone that's actually inappropriate. Now you want to lay with your husband. Let's just fast forward maybe 10 or 20 years in a consensual relationship. And the only way you know about sex is through the same thing that you were introduced by. Well, this is what he did, so this is all I know. or this is what they did and now I don't want to touch it. There's lots of people that don't enjoy their spouses fully sexually because they still are thinking, well, I had to put my uncle in my mouth when I was 9. And so my husband, I would love to perform that, but I can't get what happened. Yeah. Does that mean something's wrong with you? No, ma'am. And no, sir. But if you now want to be able to fully live into your sexual being, which you should be able to in marriage, because that's not what marriage is for. Yeah. We got to now do the work. Now you get to come on my couch. And if it's not my couch, go to somebody's couch because you're aware that this is, oh my God, this has not gone away. Mm-hmm. That's the part of being honest, which that's my favorite part of like whenever we get to that breakthrough is that you first got to break first, break to break through. Mm-hmm. You got that already? Okay. You got that already. It's that was a long explanation. Y'all all right with that? When you talked about molestation, that was the first thing that came to mind.
That was good. You covered a lot.
Okay, you got that?
But there's one thing.
Okay, tell me.
What happens when it go from, you see it affected not only your personal life, like for me.
Yes.
If it affect me in my marriage and then also business.
Okay, explain. Let's talk about business.
So when it come down to marriage, I don't really want to go there too much. But, you know, you like you said, you got to get past, you know what I'm saying, the thoughts or whatever, what happened before. But when it come down to business, the same thing is happening. You feel like you're being taken advantage of, not able to stand on business like you should, charge what you should, to the point where it's like...
Meaning you know how to be taken for granted. Like you allow people to take you for granted. Have in the past. But you realize where that seed was dropped.
Right.
And then you nurtured that from that seed of, really, I'm just going to take what I can get. You didn't even, how did you put it together with like sexual abuse? How did you know that
writing the book. Writing that book, like so many things, like God just started revealing, you know, revelation to me, like of what I went through and exactly why. Like I'm just surprised at how he brought everything back to my remembrance. I knew I had.
Well, it didn't go nowhere. Didn't we talk about it? Because you suppressed it.
It didn't go nowhere, but like just writing and it's like just remembering everything that took place from beginning to the end, and it's like, wow, this stuff is still
there
happening.
So let me answer that. There is a phrase, we've all heard of it. It's called "shut up and take it." Now this goes all the way back to some historical stuff that I think about the little girl that was taught by her mother. I'm talking about slavery. Hello, that there's possibly the master gonna take you in the back house. And you just got to do what? Shut up and take it. So historically, you don't even realize that's in your bloodline too. Sorry, it is. It's in mine too. And that the whole shut up and take it. And men had to do what? Take it. Maybe it wasn't always sexual, but they had to take them licks and not even flinch.
Yeah.
So we've been taught from an oppressed place to shut up and take it. Even before that happened to you. Ain't that crazy? Your bloodline been shutting up and taking it for hundreds of years.
Even as Christians.
Okay. Okay, so you already know where I'm going. So sometimes we all have to unlearn that we don't have to shut up and take it. We can put words to it and say, actually, I deserve more money. Mm-hmm. Or actually, I no longer want to work with you versus I always say, we so happy as Black folks that, oh, I'm just so happy to be at the table. I'm like, baby, we made this table. We always talk about, I'm just so happy that I got called. I'm like, girl, create your own path. Don't be waiting for these white folks to validate you. Yeah, I said it. And white folks, I'm glad you guys are watching. Okay. It's a thing. And hopefully your business, sir or ma'am, that of you of the Caucasoid Mountains. Okay. That's what they call them. Right. If that's where you come from, hopefully in your business, there's a culture where you are aware that the brown people that work for you or with you never have to feel this.
For sure.
That's the beauty of once we all know. We can't all say, oh, well, only Black people. No, you know too. So what you gonna do with what you know? So already it's an enslaved mentality. Then there's the sexual abuse. And then nobody put words to that you didn't have to. I'm glad you got up out of that though.
Yeah.
Because you are right. It was innate. It was your second nature to just shut up and take it.
Mm-hmm. So I shut it down, but I still haven't learned how to moving forward. I just shut it. I realized I couldn't
continue that way.
Yeah.
But you're trying to figure out how to move forward?
Yeah.
Oh, so then this probably, let's just say 2026, your homework, your life's work will be for you to find value in you.
Like, I know that there's value. Like, I know I value myself. Like, I know what I work, but I believe it's because of my heart. I have a good heart, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm kind of, it goes with the gift too. I kind of know when people, and I'm a bit of a people pleaser.
A bit? So when people say a bit, they're really saying a lot. Oh, you have been?
Yeah. So I'm trying to get up out of that too.
So that may or may not be alongside the sexual abuse, but it would maybe go along with you not wanting to like rock the boat. Like you actually want to be the good kid or the good daughter or the not really perfect, but just like see me as a good person in the world. And so what's interesting is, what if you already are and you ain't got to keep proving that to nobody? Huh? No,
I believe I am, but it's like being the good person, being that person, you have to kind of.
But being her doesn't mean she has to do. That's what I'm saying. There's a difference between your be and your do. I love your eyes. You're like, what is this lady talking about? So sometimes we do a whole lot of do's to be great. And I'm just saying, baby, what if you just start to be in your value versus my value comes from the do? Yes, this setup is wonderful, right? But the real be of your husband that did his do is that he did it from a place of, baby, what do you need from me? That was his be. The do was, is this where you want the plants to go? But the be is, I'm here, and you felt completely supported. You get that? Meaning if he don't do another thing when it comes to this moment, his be is enough. Yeah. That's the part that I would love for you to get to. That your be, not your do. Because to people please means I got to do something for you. Period. It's a do, right? Pleasing is the do most times. But the be is that like, oh, wow, am I not enough to just sit with? Or how long has it been since you checked on me? This is the biggest thing I love to do. When you start evaluating your relationships and your friendships, I don't care if it's with your coworker, your family, or your friends, figure out when's the last daggone time they checked on you. I'm sorry. The strong friend, you could kick it. Didn't I tell y'all to take my cake? Take my cake. I don't even want it. If that's what a strong friend is, it mean I check on you for the rest of your life? And you ain't said, well, I know Dr. Tasha always takes care of herself. Baby, if you don't check on me, we ain't friends. Hello? And the truth is, if you made that like a requirement, you could take that in. Then it's a whole lot of B's and do's that you might not do no more. Because your B has to be enough, even for the person that said, you kidding me? Okay, so we're going to work on your B. That's what your 2026 homework is. You're just going to allow your presence to be enough.
Yeah. I mean, I started, but like, I definitely don't want to do hair anymore.
Okay. You're done doing.
I'm done with that. But I do want to be successful in business and overcome that. Just shut up and take.
Do you see it already? Do you see the being successful? You can see yourself in the success?
For sure.
Okay, so you're not afraid of success.
Well, I'm not afraid of success. I want to be successful.
Okay.
I'll leave it there.
Oh, really? We're just going to leave it there? You guys think I'm going to let her just leave it there? I'm not. Okay. Because you can't skate when you have a drive-by therapy. Okay, so there's two things. You could have a fear of failure or a fear of success. So people who have a fear of failure, they never really try. People who have a fear of success, they try and then they sabotage along the way and then it never happens. Like almost right when it's about to happen, like it's the craziest thing, people that are afraid of success. Something's just going to happen that it just never happens.
I just don't want to be too successful and I just want to, I want to be successful, but I don't want to be like, I'm not trying to be, I don't have the words.
I hope you don't. We don't even like the words. What you talking about? You can't even say it because it doesn't make no sense. I don't want to be too what? You don't want to be too successful because of what?
Hearing it come out, it don't make.
I'm glad. That's how the fear. Isn't it crazy? So when it was in there, it could keep you stuck. But the minute you're like owning it, you're like, actually, that's not me. So let's finish it. What were you about to say, or your old self used to say? Being too successful, I don't want to be what? What's the fear? If I become too successful, what is the fear? Just say it.
it's like I want a level of success, but I don't want to be too successful where
Okay. Where what?
I'm distracted. You know what I'm saying? Like, as long as my success aligns with God and what He has for me to do, I realize a lot of successful people have like not really. I won't say successful, but like what's the word? Like big, like people that make it big or whatever. They get distracted and they fall away from they true calling and they true identity.
I love that. So you're actually saying I want to stay aligned with the spirit in the spirit realm and not get too big for my own britches is what they say, right? Is that what the Southern people say, honey? I'm not from the South, but I'll be working on my little Southern little twang. Okay, so getting too big for your own britches or too much money where you forgot who and whose you are. But the truth of the matter is, for whomever you think those people are right now, whoever they are in your mind, do you think they said this, what you just said, before they made it?
Probably not.
Okay.
They focus was on what it was.
What? And then it's gone. So then the truth is, sometimes you guys ever heard people say like, man, I don't want to be like my mom when I become a mother. Like they so concerned. I don't want to be like my dad when I become a dad. Like you're so concerned. I don't want to be just like my dad in the way that he was as a husband with my mom. Like, so we already know it. You don't have to be afraid of it. You're like 37 now, sir. You've been married 10 years. You're not your father. True. How about at some point you can actually say, I'm not going to be that way because I'm going to make sure I keep people around me that keep me accountable. Hello? Because I'm going to call you now if you get too big for your britches. And I don't know if you remember me from 2026, but you need to bring it down a little bit. Right? Because when you have a good village, they're not going to let you start getting in the clouds. I wish I would. I got a few friends that they will check me immediately. And they going to hood check me too. They go, oh, you got to, I can't wait for it. If it happens, because the truth is no one is exempt from becoming that way. That's what I believe you're really saying. Right. No one can say, I'll never be that. Because now you're in denial because you don't know what another million would do for your life. Right. And I said another because you're going to get to your first, right? Hello? Sure. But it's once you get to that multi, you kind of start smelling yourself like, oh, maybe I should. Okay. Right? You start thinking, oh my goodness, like the skin that I'm in, like you guys need to pay for my presence. And then you may never be that because you already came out grounded. One of the things I love about God in 2025, 6 and 7, I call it my wilderness stage. So I was literally 24. I was born in 1981. That's right. Do your math. And so by that point, I was 24, 25, 26, and I lost everything. I lost my fiance. He didn't die or anything, but like he went to jail and it was a whole thing. Dramatic. So I lost my fiance from morals and that we weren't as compatible. I lost my house. It went into foreclosure. And I want to say I probably lost my stability. And this is what I would call my wilderness stage, where when the church had a little dinner after church, they didn't know that was my first meal. You get what I'm saying? After Bible study. They didn't know I didn't have nothing in the refrigerator. So yes, I'm happy y'all decided to have pasta salad and chicken wings today. Because it's only, you get what I'm saying, wilderness. Now, what's cool is I was not Dr. Tasha then. I was Latasha Russell, who was a teacher that at some point learned by 06, 07 that she wanted to do this. But God allowed me to he humbled me to such a core place that I like to stay low. Yeah. When people talk about new levels, I'm like, baby, you could go as high as you need to go. I'm trying to go deeper. Yeah. Because I know now I get it. God wanted to humble me then. So I had to learn that I am nothing without him then. This is 22 years ago, before I even became a doctor, because once I become her, that I will never get to suchy much. Because baby, I'm scared to hit that wilderness again. You know that place where you fear to be broke? Anybody got a fear? Baby, that thing right there. I remember when I would have money in the bank, and because I had gone through y'all know when y'all be at the grocery store line? See, doctors don't talk like this. Or people that have a couple coins, they don't talk like this. They don't remind the people that there were moments where when you go to the grocery store at Kroger's and it would actually decline. Now it might've been $36, but shoot, I didn't realize something came out right before. Yeah. Oh my God. So you had that long look at the cashier like, what do you mean? Right? And then the daggone line behind you, you looking real broke. Now, if you knew you only had $13, you wouldn't have got the chicken wings and the rice and the potatoes. You would have just got maybe some ramen noodles and called it a day and cut up a piece of chicken in there. Oh, yeah. But I didn't know. So that happened in real life in wilderness. Then literally fast forward 20 years or 10 years, I'm then at the grocery store, what? Got PTSD, wondering, now there's money in the bank and I still get excited when it comes through. This really still happens because of what happened during the wilderness, because I never want to forget. I never want to forget. So I'm not fearful that I'll forget because I stay low. You get the difference?
Yeah.
So because you're here, just stay right here and say, God, if you could just elevate me, and I will forever remember how I got here. You can say that every day. That could be the way you say goodnight to the Lord and to your man.
Yeah, I just want success in whatever I do, but not really aiming to be, big or anything. So my posture is gonna. I'm definitely gonna stay low.
You can stay low, but you can become big. That's what I'm saying. When you say I don't want to become too big, I don't really like that. You literally are saying, if this ceiling, I don't like it. I'm not a fan. Hubby, he not a fan either. You don't get to tell the Lord how big you want to become. Baby, are you Jesus?
I only want what he has.
Okay, you ain't said that yet though. You said, I don't want to become too big. Baby, you don't even know what the Lord has for you. You literally brought the ceiling down.
You're right.
If you don't you need to break through that daggone ceiling. And then be like, I'm out here floating, oh Lord, you still here? Oh, okay. Because I don't want to be out here by myself. I hear your heart, but change your language for yourself. That's all I want. If you're going to start talking into your life and pouring into other people's life, you being big is different. It's not a dollar amount. It's that you come in. You ever come into a room? You ever see someone come into a room and you say to yourself, who is that? Now, you don't even know nothing about them, but something about your eyes, because they have a presence.
Right.
That could still be called what's big, right? That's a big deal that you could come in non-verbally and then people want to know who is that.
Yeah.
And you're able to stand on what fulfills you and not what you do well, meaning you ain't going in to talk about no hair. You're going in to talk about whatever it is that the Lord has given you. But you already great before you said anything. That's what's being big.
Yeah.
So no, we want you to be big. See, what's interesting about a little drive-by therapy is that like everybody in the room feels it. Right? I'm talking to you, but it's like, I see husband over there. Husband, you want to come and join us? You look like you got a little something to share. Okay, come on in here. Okay. What you thinking? Okay. Ain't nothing wrong with coming from behind the scenes, sir.
Okay, so she just want me to hold the mic. So I've been hearing that y'all was talking about the ceiling and how high she don't want to go. She want to stay low. And I understand what she's saying kind of about me. If you ask me, I'll be saying maybe like she probably talking about clothes and humility. She want to stay. She don't want to never get that high. But me personally, I get what you're saying too as well, because you don't never want to dictate of how high God can take you, And me personally, I always try to push her higher than what she, because she has that voice. She has a voice, and I think it needs to be heard. And I think that's why I stand behind her and push her so much, because there's so much potential in her in a lot of different areas. So, that's my thought on it.
No, I love that. Now, why do you think some men, specifically husbands, have a hard time with watching their wives elevate? I can see already that's not your heart.
No, I can't speak for these other guys, but me personally, I know what my wife been through, and I know having a personal relationship with God has taught me how to be a husband to her.
A godly husband, which is very different than an earthly one.
Right. So it taught me how to, even love her, like through her trauma that she went through. Now I had to ask God, okay, God, you're gonna have to show me how to do this, because I'm trying to lay here with my wife, I'm trying to caress my wife, but she's still having
some triggers from
it's
a thing.
So I had to ask God to show me how to be patient, because other men probably would have loved, no, I ain't doing this, I'm finna go, but no, you got to be patient.
I love that you said this. Can I put some words to it clinically?
Yes.
So what's interesting is when that happens, because you are literally having whatever you're desiring with your wife, right, with consent. And then she makes you in this moment, like subconsciously, because it's not like knowingly, she then makes you feel like you're the perpetrator.
Right.
And you're like, I'm not him. And then it actually could hurt you. Because it's like, why do you not see me that I'm not him? When the truth is, she just got to now unsee the him.
Right.
And to put you in the same lens or a different lens and like literally fully lean in. But that is not overnight. Because you're like, you don't want to be reminded of what she actually went through. A lot of wives and husbands do not share with their spouses because they're afraid of how will you see me once you know.
Right. No, that it gave me it's just like for me, seeing my firstborn, it's like seeing him coming in the world, give you a different outlook. So that's how it is with me and her, seeing her go through what she went through, or and hearing it. Man, I couldn't even take it all in like that at one point, because if she would have told me, she told me bits and pieces. Because if she would have told that to me, all that, I would have been ready to fight the whole world. Hold on.
I believe you.
Mom, I don't know this, what's going on? Like, so, but at the end of the day.
As a protector.
Right. So, and that's why I'm like I am now, about her, protective over her. I stand behind her, I push her, but, you still have, especially being in her shoes, as a, youth pastor and stuff like that.
Yeah.
You have these other guys. I have to be her eyes, because you got other guys be just looking, man, and and it's like, as women, you be like, oh no, I don't think this person not like that. It's not like, and listen, I'm telling you, when I know, and you don't find out until the end. So it's like, what? Yeah, I got to be my eyes, because I don't play by mine.
Oh, we can tell.
Yeah, I don't play by mine.
But can you imagine, for people that, I love that you guys are transparent in this way, because this can help set a lot of people free. Imagine that you're having all these feelings as a husband, knowing how your wife responds to you, and she ain't even being honest with you. Imagine that, because that's going on in people's marriages right now too, where there is someone that was violated at 8 or 11, and because there's that shame still, that they're in a loving relationship and they don't ever want to share that with you. But you can feel it in her body. You can feel when she jolts. You can feel when she flinches. You can feel when she's more tense, when she should be relaxed. And now you have to deal, and that's the word, and be accepting and sometimes tolerate her going through her own healing process of being able to unlearn the way she has seen men from day one.
Yeah. So with her, that was back then, because I experienced some of it with her. Now that the book is coming out, she done overcame a lot of it, and now the voice is there to speak. I'm gonna help you speak it. You got a voice, so I'm gonna help you open your mouth and speak it. So at the end of the day, sometimes she'll get to the point where she'll, like, she kind of lackadaisy with it, but no, baby, we got to stay on this. Somebody got to hear this, and because it's a lot of people out there going through it. The same thing,
silently,
silently, and you can't overcome it. You can't overcome it. And then for the spouse or the other individual women that's going through it, and you have a man, I think you should tell them. I think they should know.
Oh yes,
they should know, and they'll be more protective. They'll be more protective of. I know I'm protective over mine, not just her, but her, my kids, even her mom. I don't like to see. First of all, I don't like to see my wife being used by nobody. So I always tell her, don't think nobody funny. You got that money? Like, you coming there getting your hair done, and I'm sitting here watching her work. And when you got good quality work, man, you're going to go pay for what you want. So don't come in here and expect you to get this good quality work. And then, next thing you know, oh, I only got this. No, that ain't what we agreed on. Sometimes it was to the point where I know I go on Google if I had to, and I'm going to see how much that hairdo costs.
Oh,
and if you
to get the comparison prices. Yeah.
So if you feel like you're not finna go up under a lot, now if you want to give them a little break, it's a different story. But no, baby, they're gonna have to pay. I get sick and tired of seeing people use people. Even with me, like doing photography, I'm not, man. Listen, I got my website and I got the prices on there. You go tell me what you want, because at the end of the day, I'm not finna go back and forth with you about prices. When you'll go to JCPenney, pay their price,
and I ask,
you'll go to these other photography shops and you'll pay their price. No, I'm not doing that. So
To know your value,
Right,
which is what we talked
right,
about earlier.
right. And you know, she's good. She's good. I'm just praying that, you know, God continue, because these books, while she's writing these books, I'm reading it as well too. And I'm learning God just dropping stuff
Yeah.
in my spirit. And I'm like, wow, I never saw it like this, you know, because it wasn't just always her, you know, even with her traveling with her mom, by mom being a pastor, she's traveling up and down the roads. And, you know, sometimes at this one particular point, I had to work at night, so I couldn't travel with them, you know, but, you know, I desired to. And sometimes I was like, nah, I don't want to go. Not thinking that my wife, she was asking me, babe, come with me, come with me. Why don't you come on the road with me? And sometimes we can ignore that. It just be a snake sitting in the corner, just waiting to strike, you know. And me not knowing, you know what I'm saying? How can I cover her down here and she way up there, you know, not knowing what's going to happen or take place or whatever. So the enemy used to just try to come in so many different ways.
I love this. Now this gonna be a little. We gotta to be continued at this point, because now we're talking about the marriage saved my life. Right. Of just even the idea of you knowing how to be a covering as a man,
yes,
talking to other husbands. Mm-hmm. Who teaches that? How often is that taught? Hardly never. No, and it's hard to be the covering, and it's hard to receive their covering. Oh yeah. And so I think we need to tell the people they gotta wait to the next show.
Yeah. That's the to be continued.
To be continued.
Make sure y'all tap in.
Thank you for having us on.
Y'all a therapist like this. You won't regret it. Y'all see what she do and how she do it. She do it.
I appreciate y'all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
So tell them where they can find you.
Oh, drivebytherapy.org. Go on there. We'll get your contact. My social media is Dr. Tasha, DOCTORA, Tasha, TASHA. And you'll just see the live talk shows across the street from the Hard Rock Casino at a place called Lux, LUXE, every first Saturday from 6 to 9. I'll see y'all there.
Also, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe this video. Till next time. See you then.
Okay, now, girl.